TF2's Cut Content Episode 3, the DNA gun, the Traqulizer gun, and the history of Spy's interesting primary weapon that could never see the light of day. Here we go. The history of the Traqulizer gun starts long before the actual release of Team Fortress 2. It was first introduced through the 2006 era of development within TF2, where it was tested among its playtesters. It can even first be seen in the first ever trailer for the game, which makes us understand that initially the Spy had the Traqulizer as a primary weapon. A model and bucket icon for the Trank can be found within the game's files. Evidence can even be found in the tf_english.txt file. The weapon, however, was cut later through development due to the weapon just being unfun to play with. The initial stats were something like this. It fires projectiles, and when a projectile hits an enemy, his or her movement speed and sensitivity were cut in half for 6 seconds. Given these stats, it's easy to imagine why the weapon was cut. It's very unbalanced and unfair to any players on the other end of it. But we all know Valve and their tendency towards recycling old scrapped content, and sometime around 2014, Valve again experimented with this weapon and gave it completely different stats. Originally appearing in the relist of the October 28, 2015 patch and the texture preload list leak of that same update, this weapon's iteration was internally called the Dart Gun, at least at the time. This weapon is often confused to be completely separate from the DNA gun that was later found in the TF2 source code leak from back in 2017. The Dart Gun, DNA Gun, and Traqulizer Gun are in fact all the same item. They were all intended to be the same inventory weapon. This time, the weapon was planned to be an unlockable primary weapon for Spy around the time of Spy vs. Engineer. It went something like this. The Traqulizer is still firing projectiles. When a projectile hits an enemy, this enemy is marked with a special Trank mark for the rest of that enemy's life. It also slows down the hit enemy for about 1.5 seconds. If a Spy, and it doesn't even need to be the Spy that originally shot the Trank dart, backstabs that enemy, he or she immediately changes to the class that the killed player had. At the same time, all additional weapon meters like Ubercharge, weapon ammo, engineer metal are all preserved from the killed enemy. The Spy is not switching teams, however. The Spy is only switching classes, but still on their own team. Even on paper, this design is ridiculous. Being able to instantly switch the class in the middle of your life without any cooldowns or respawns is something that is really unbalanced and broken, and it's clear why this weapon was never put into the final game. The Traqulizer had a curse of either being unfun or incredibly unbalanced. But that's not stopping us from remaking it, now is it? You're obviously seeing gameplay of this stuff working, and of course, co-creator of creators.tf Moonly Days was able to recreate all of this stuff from scratch, and the plans of launching beta servers that allow you to use all of the cut content from Team Fortress 2 that we cover in Season 1 of TF2CC is in the works, and you should be seeing stuff from it very soon. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. I'm Tyler McVicker. Follow me on Twitter at Valve News Network for real-time updates on all the news I cover. Check out some of the merch down in the description below and also right below this video, or support my Patreon to watch some videos early and get your name in the credits. I'm Tyler McVicker. This is Valve News Network. Have a good day. Adios.